Okay, so first of all, a very warm welcome to everyone to a Fastfindfirm 7-day Java Bootcamp. It's actually quite nice to see you all in such a great numbers. Yeah, I hope you all having a good day, and if you're not even, you will definitely ending your day at a high note with our first session going underway, taken by our very own Mr. Nilesh Mokshi sir, who is no new in this field, which has a staggering experience of more than 9 years. And also, before starting, I would request you all to just turn on your cameras. Like, it's great to see everyone here. We can have a small screenshot of people present here. Yeah, good Pankaj, Ravish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope rest of students will do the same. Yeah, let's have. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for everyone. Yeah, come on, everyone. Many people have. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for everyone. Yeah, come on, everyone. Many people have already turned on the camera. Yeah, good number of people are turning on. Okay, yeah, few more. Come on, guys. Yes, yeah, yeah, people are turning on. It's good. Few more. Perfect.
So today's session, we are going to start with object-oriented programming, which is concepts, or you can say this is going to be the path or bridge for going for the programming like Java, .NET, PHP. So this object-oriented programming is quite versatile. So multiple technologies use object-oriented programming, which only we call it as OOP concepts. Oriented. I missed the topic. So yeah, oriented. Fine. So this is also called as OOP concepts. So that going to be our first topic for the bootcamp. So I will speak about object-oriented programming. So first topic going to be object-oriented programming, which I'm going to discuss today. The first language which implemented object-oriented programming is Simula. Then C++ was the second language who implemented OOP concepts. Then the third one is Java. Then the fourth one is .NET. And the fifth one is PHP. And sixth one is Python. Okay, so you can see so many languages using object-oriented concepts. So why they use it? Because it is a building block for the developers. So if you understood object-oriented programming concepts, then you will be very much on the track of development. So I will just mark it as 1. Okay, now my second topic, which I'm going to deliver on maybe tomorrow, that will be collections, which is very important topic. Okay, because in development, lot of collection features are used like array list, linked list, set list, hash map, tree set, uh, then queue, stack. So there are a number of things available in collection, and in companies they are used like in very much quantity. So I have thought to give you some knowledge of collections as well. Then third topic which I'm going to take is file IO, that is file input output. This is also a very good topic to understand. Then we have a fourth topic is Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate, what it do, it uses ORM technology, the object relational mapping, and it will map the Java classes with the database tables. So how it will be, that I will tell you on that particular day. Fifth one is Spring. Okay, so this particular JDBC, yeah, I forgot to write JDBC here. So it will be JDBC where we are going to see the connection between Java and database. So that particular fundamentals we will see. This is fifth, and Spring is sixth. 7th day, again, there will be a spring, because spring is somewhat vast. So I required at least 2 sessions to explain spring neatly. Okay, so that is what I'm going to cover in this Java bootcamp. So I'm going to start with OOP concepts, object-oriented programming concepts. Here we go. Let me just take a bar. Yeah. Now, OOP concepts, we can say, have features like object, class, abstraction, encapsulation, okay, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, as it is boot camp, so I will not be able to cover all the classes of object-oriented programming with the examples. Okay, because we have very less time, and I have to show you very I have I want to show you multiple things. So that is a issue. So I'm going to cover specific concepts of the object-oriented programming. I'm going to speak on all these 6 topics, but yeah, as an example, I'm not able to show you all the 6 concepts right through practicals. But once we got enrolled into the system, we will have very much time in hand. So at that time, we can discuss it with the practical examples as well. Okay. Now this 3, 4, 5, 6. It is also called as pillar of object oriented. So few sites have used word called pillars of object oriented programming. Okay, so there can be various filters and various names are used for OOP concepts. So a few sites use this particular concepts as pillar of object-oriented programming. Okay, so let's start with the object first. Let's see what is object. Basically, it is any real thing in the world. Real thing in the world which we can see, touch, or feel, and being sensible, you can say, or we can say there can be separate statement can be used. So I said there is any real thing in the world which we can see, touch, feel, or being used by our senses. Okay, so any real thing, that's what object is, any real thing, right? But that thing should be visible. I should able to touch that object. I should able to feel that object, or it will be being sensible for my for me, right? Now, what is the second point about object-oriented programming? It is a runtime entity. What we call it, runtime entity. It have unique identity. Every object will have unique identity, and you can say properties and methods. Okay, let's take one example of object. So I will go for example so that I can explain you very neatly about the object. So if I say car, so car is an object. Okay, now what can be the identifications of car? So identifications of car, or you can say identity of the car, is a number plate. Okay, so whatever car you have, that should have a number plate. So that number plate will make your car different from the other cars. So that is the identity of that particular object. So that object we are considering as car. So car have identity called number plate. Then properties. Properties are multiples, like you can say a color of the car, you know. Then you can say headlights, okay, backlights, right? Engine, right? AC system installed in a car, so that can be also one property of the car. Then you can say doors, okay. Then you can say already I have mentioned color. So these many properties are enough to identify the car. So if you present this much properties of the particular object, it will be very easy for me to identify what type of object it is. Okay. Now, what are the methods? Okay. So methods are start, stop, X, accelerate, reverse, horn. These are the methods of my object called car. I hope you are understanding what is object. So I read this particular paragraph once more for you. So if anyone missed it, can recall it back. So object is any real thing in the world which we can see, touch, or feel, and being used by our senses. It is a runtime entity. It has unique identity, properties, and methods. So I have taken one example of car as an object. So car can have an identity as a number plate. So every car is unique. Okay, every car is unique and having different number plate. So that is the identity of your car. Properties means what that particular class belongs to, what that particular object belongs to. So that object belongs to so many properties. Okay, so all these things make your car. Okay, like you have color of the car, you have headlights, backlights, engine, AC system, doors. So what are these? These are called as properties of the object. Now, what can be the method? What method means what behavior of the object? Like what object, what type of behavior that object can show you. So that car object can start, car object can stop, car object we can do the brakes, we can accelerate it, we can take the car in reverse mode, we can play the horn, right? So many methods my car can perform. So that is what object is. Okay, one more definition I will give you for object. So I will just write it about the example. So object have its own properties and methods which that object used for existence. Okay, so what makes your car exist? The methods, properties can make your car exist. That is what I have said. Object used by existence. So that object exists with the properties and methods, right? Let's find out some other definition. Yeah, we have one more definition for object. Every object have own limitations. Every objects have own limitations. What does it mean? Like for example, let's take my example. I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer, I'm a tutor. So I can give a sessions on technologies. I cannot give a sessions on medical terms, right? So what is my limitation as an object? I can teach only technology related subject. So that is what my limitations are. If a particular person who is giving the training on medical systems or health system, that particular object will have that limitations. So in short, we have our own limitations. Our objects have its own limitations. Okay, and these limitations we cannot cross. Why? Because if I try to cross my limitations, I will not able to succeed in it. Right? Then we will go for the class. Class. It is a collection of properties. You can say collection of similar objects. Okay, let me do it properly. It's a typo mistake. So class, it is a collection of objects, having similar properties and methods. Okay, that means every object, or you can say every class have same objects in that particular class. So that particular object will be similar to other objects. Okay, so the properties and methods of our object have to be same. Then only we can take it as a class. For example, this is our live session. So many people have joined here, and I'm giving the lecture on Java OOP concepts. So we call it as Java session or Java Bootcamp. Why? Because each and every object which is associated with this session have similar properties and methods, right? So we all have similar properties and methods. So collection of objects having similar properties and methods are grouped into the classes, right? Then what class can possess? So class can have variables. We call it as properties in OP concepts. Methods, which we call it as functions, and main method, which is a first executable method, right? So we have variables, we have methods, and we have main function as well. So that is what class is. Now in Java, these classes have various types. For example, final class. If you make your class as final, that means you cannot use this class to create similar type of classes, Okay, understanding it. Final class means what? If I write the final keyword to the class, what it means that no other class can inherit my class, because I made my class as final. This is called as sealed class. So no other classes can inherit my features or my class features. So that's why I have made my class as final, right? Then we have public class. Okay, actually we call it as modifiers, private class, default class, and we have something called private, public, protected. Okay, so this many classes we can have. These are all different types of properties, or you can say class names I have given. So my class can be public, my class can be private, my class can be default, and my class can be protected. Now, interesting thing here, if we won't assign any privilege, or you can say any access specifier to the class, then class have default access specifier, right? Understanding this. So if I have not marked my class as public, private, default, protected, final, then what type of my class is? My class become a default class. So if you don't have any access specifier associated with your class, then that class will have access specifier as default. Okay. After that, we have classes like, we can mark our class as static, but that will not work, but we can mark it. Okay. Then we have a class called abstract, right? So these are the different types of classes we have. Once we start with our sessions in our Google Meet, then I'm going to discuss it in a detail. Okay, this is just I'm showing you what type of classes it is and what is the use of that class. So that is what I have put forward, some basic things like object and class, right? So now next one is abstraction, which is one of the pillar of object oriented programming. Abstraction. It's very simple. It's very simple to know this. Is anyone asking question, guys? No, no. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead. So abstraction is, okay, people are still joining. Okay. So abstraction, it is a process where we present the required things of the class, or you can say one more definition can be derived from abstraction. That is, it is a process where we focus on specific properties of an object. Now I'm giving you an example over here. I'm saying color of class, or you can say color of car is red. Okay, so what I have did, I have focused on the property called color of the object called car, and that value for the property is red, right? So so our car have multiple things, as we discussed here. Car can have headlights, car can have backlights, car can have engine, car can have AC system, car can have doors. So this many properties are available with me in my class, in my car. But what kind of feature I'm presenting? I'm presenting the property called color. Why? Because I want a red color to my class, or to my car. So that is the statement which demonstrates the abstraction. So here I'm demonstrating the property of car called color, right? So color of the car is red. That means I'm focusing on the color property of a car, which is red. Okay, so that is what basically abstraction is. Encapsulation, we'll go for this now. It is a process where we hide the part of a program. Okay, so it is exactly reverse of abstraction. Or you can say, you can create one more definition for encapsulation. Encapsulation is, it is a process of wrapping the thing, okay, which are not used by people. Okay, like for example, if you take a example of the television set, then the television set have all the properties, but we can see only specific properties. So other properties are wrapped. So you can have one more definition, that encapsulation means wrapping the objects or wrapping the properties. So we are not going to show these particular properties to user, because they are not going to be useful for your people. Okay, or it is not useful for the car, right? So whatever machinery, whatever engine, that always is a property of a car which is hidden from outside. So can we see the particular engine of the car? No. Why? Because it is hidden inside the car. So that is what encapsulation is. So abstraction is presenting the things which are required, whereas encapsulation is the hiding the things which are not required. Very simple. Or you can say wrap the things which are not used by people, right? For example, if I have a program, then that program, when I run that program, the particular person can use my program, but that particular person cannot see what the code I have written behind the particular program, right? For example, I have created a railway reservation system. So many people are using railway reservation system, but that railway reservation system have an interface which people are accessing, but the code behind it is hidden from them. So when you hide something, when you hide the program of that particular a particular object, that particular thing is called as encapsulation. So in encapsulation, you are hiding the things which are not required, right? Then let's go for the next one. Asha, we can have an example like capsule. Okay, so this particular encapsulation word comes from this capsule. So if you see a capsule, it is like a cubical shape, and the drug is inside that particular cubical shape. So they are not showing the color of the that particular medicine. Why? Because that color is not necessary for us to do. Okay, because we want to make ourselves pure. So how to make ourselves pure? By taking a capsule. So that is what relevant to you. Why you want to see that particular color of the capsule? You are not going to see the color of the capsule. So that color is hide inside that cubical shape, and that demonstrates that encapsulation. Okay, so presenting something is called abstraction, and hiding something is called encapsulation. Very simple words. Okay, so for example, if you visited any coaching class like NIT, AppTech, or SSI, so what you do, you start asking about a specific subject, right? For example, classes have many things to talk. Classes have many things to talk. What are the different subjects my class can have? My class can have C, C++, Java, Spring, Hibernate, right? JSP, MySQL, Oracle, right? Python, okay, PHP. So many things I have in my classes to teach, right? Python and PHP. But what my inquiry is about, inquiry was to know about Java, Spring, and Hibernate. So what I will do as a counselor, I will only say or demonstrate regarding the Java, Spring, and Hibernate, I will hide the things like C++, C, JSP, MySQL, Oracle, Python, PHP. These things I will not going to show to that particular inquiry. Why? Because the inquiry or that particular person came to your class to learn Java. So his objective is very much clear that he wants to learn the Java technology. So as a counselor, I have to show him the related things to that particular object, like what is the course fees, what is the course duration, whether we are giving placements or not, what type of softwares are required, what is the timing of that particular class. So these are the relevant things. So as a counselor, I'm going to show all these things, and I will hide the other technologies from that particular inquiry or from that particular person. So that is what encapsulation. So when I'm focusing on Java, Spring, and Hibernate, that is called abstraction. And when I'm hiding C, C++, JSP, MySQL, Oracle, Python, PHP, I'm hiding it. That is called as encapsulation. So that is how you can set the examples. Now let's go for the next one, inheritance. Okay, it is a process where we abstract, or carry forward properties and methods from superclass to subclass. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm abstracting or I'm carry forwarding the properties and methods of superclass to subclass. It's something like my daddy have, curly hairs. So I also have curly hair. That is what inheritance. Are you understanding? So whatever properties I am inheriting from my father, that will be same to the superclass and to the subclass. So that property I am inheriting. So whatever property, whatever properties are there of my daddy, I own it as an inheritance, right? So this is what basically inheritance is. So inheritance, we have different types of inheritance. So I will write down that particular types of inheritance. First type is single inheritance. Means one class, one subclass. So you can have something like A to B. Okay, so A to B is the example of single inheritance. Also, if you say A to B, C, D, and E, this is also an example of inheritance. So I can have many classes which is derived from the A class, or it is present in B class, right? So that is also a inheritance. I hope you are understanding, right? Okay. So I have derived B, C, D, E classes from the base class called A. So that is what single inheritance is, right? Next type of inheritance is hierarchical inheritance. So let's see how it is. The hierarchical inheritance. Okay, it is something like, you have A class, right? From A class, B class is inherited and C class is inherited. So A have different subclasses like B and C, right? And what happens to that particular subclasses? They also have their own subclasses like B1 and B2. It's a properties, it's a classes which is derived from B class. Similarly, I have C1 and C2, which is derived from the C class. So this is what hierarchical inheritance is. So I will just make a columns here so that you can understand the properly, So it is like this. So from B, I am inheriting B1 and B2, like this. Okay, so it's a hierarchy. Similarly, from C, I am inheriting C1 and C2. Correct. So this is called as hierarchical inheritance, right? Similarly, you can have, you can also have multi-level inheritance. Okay, so let's see how multi-level inheritance is. So multi-level inheritance. Okay, so multi-level means what? You have levels, like you have grandfather, father, and grandson. This is called multi-level, father and grandson. So the properties of properties of grandfather is inherited into father, and properties of father and grandfather is derived inside the grandson. So this is what we called as multi-level inheritance. Okay, so such type of programs we are going to create when our batch going to launch. Okay, so I'm telling you very basic things. So if it's like a trailer, so I'm not explaining everything about Java and OOP concepts. I'm just telling you the basic things which is required for you to understand how Java is. Okay, so there are many more things which I can put forward to be put forward to you, but that much time we don't have. So I'm just telling you the basic things. So once our proper classes are started, I'm going to explain each and everything to you. Okay, so that is the inheritance. Now, what is polymorphism? I guess many people know inheritance and polymorphism. So it is a process where object behave differently under different circumstances. Okay, different circumstances. Means what? There is a multiple behavior of single object, right? We have AC at home, right? So what AC is doing? AC is giving you a cool air. So in summer, I use my AC to get a cool air, but I can use that particular AC to give me some warm air also. Similarly, you have your example. I will give you example as washing machine. Okay, so washing machine can wash the clothes as well as dry the clothes. This is called multiple behavior. Okay, what another example? Mobile. Okay, we use mobile as a polymorphic object because we can call something, we can receive the call, we can see movies on object on our mobile, we can send SMS. So one object is doing multiple tasks. You can see here many people are on WhatsApp. You see this is how the multiple behavior of one object is there. So that is called as basically polymorphism. WhatsApp. Okay, we also can hear the songs, right? So such a different benefits I will get from the object called as mobile. So one object doing this multiple tasks. From this mobile or from this object, I can make a call to the people. I can receive the call of people. I can call someone. I can see the movies. I can send the SMS. I can send SMS, WhatsApp messages. I can hear the songs, right? So this is what basically a polymorphism is. Now Java have two types of polymorphism. So I will write here. Java have two types of polymorphism. Okay. One is static polymorphism. Second is dynamic polymorphism. Okay. Now, how we can achieve it? Okay, so I can achieve static polymorphism by one way called as function overloading. Whereas I can have dynamic polymorphism in multiple way. So I can have, in dynamic, we can say we have constructor overloading. We have abstract methods or abstract function. So what is abstract function? How to do constructor overloading? I know you have many questions. Right, so Dinesh, you are writing dynamic polymorphism, you are writing static polymorphism, but you are not explaining it us. This kind of questions may raise in your mind. Okay, but please keep that particular question for your next class. Okay, so once the class is getting created, we are going to explain you all these things. What is static polymorphism, what is dynamic polymorphism, how to do function overloading, how to do constructor overloading, how to do abstract functions. Everything will be taught, but not now, guys. It require a time, right? So this is basically a features of object oriented programming. So I will just roughly read the things what I have created here. I said my topics for the boot camp is object oriented programming. So for first programming called Simula language have use object oriented programming first. Then same OOP concepts are used by C++, Java, .NET, PHP, and Python. So this you have to learn very neatly and very clearly and very deeply. Okay, once you got the concept of object oriented programming, you are done 30% of the work. Okay, 30% of the work is carried by object oriented programming. So you should know how to create classes, how to declare variables, how to define the classes, how to call the variables and methods of one class to another. Okay, so there are multiple things. Constructor is there. There is a static polymorphism, dynamic polymorphism, inheritance, abstraction, escapulation. Number of things are there in object-oriented programming. So I have given you a basic idea today about the object-oriented programming. Similarly, we are going to have collections tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to see different classes of collections. Like for example, we have array list, linked list, tree set, hash map. These are the classes. We have vector, right? We have queue. So these are the classes of collections which we are going to see tomorrow. As well as we have interfaces like set, list, map, right? So this interfaces also we are going to see, but not detailing, but I'm going to show you some examples based on it. Then I have third thing on the third day called file IO, that is file input output operations. So how to how to write inside the file, how to read the content of file, that we are going to see. Then comes this JDBC connection, where I'm going to write the program and where I'm going to take the values from user as I put it into database. So that interesting session will come on the fourth day. More interesting topic will be Hibernate, because over here you are not need to keep the table. So tables will be created by default by the classes. So Hibernate is everything handled by classes with whatever things related to database. So generally what happens is we create the database, we create the table. In table we write the columns. In that columns we give the constraints like primary key, foreign key, not null, etc. So what's going to happen in Hibernate is I'm not going to touch the database. Everything I'm going to manage through the Hibernate. Okay, so we don't require a SQL developer. We don't require Oracle developer. Why? Because the database thing I'm going to handle using Java code that is called Hibernate. So I'm going to write a class. I'm going to write the variables. I'm going to mark my class as a table. I'm going to mark my variables as or columns as a variables. I can do the relationship between the tables using Hibernate. So we have many ways, guys. So fifth day is going to be very interesting. So fourth day, fifth day, even tomorrow, we are going to see a lot of things. Okay, we have Spring, right? This is more interesting. This is the this is a technology which is used by many developers around the world. Okay, so in Spring, I'm going to show you one final project where I'm going to add the employees record. I'm going to read the employees record. I'm going to update it. I'm going to delete it. Okay, so many options we are going to do in 6 and 7 days. Okay, now I show you very basic program. Okay, where all the properties are getting used. Okay, or properties, or you can say features of you are used. Okay, so let's see. So I have a class called my class. Okay, inside this my class, I have a main method which have an argument as args. And inside this, I'm going to welcome everyone. So this is a program where all the object-oriented programming concepts are residing. Welcome to Java Bootcamp, right? So this is a single program which have all the 6 properties in it. So can anyone tell me what is object about? Have you find any object in this program? Take your time. In our program, this is our program. So in this program, all the features are there: object, class, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. All features are available in a particular class. So can you tell me what is object? Is anyone there who can identify the objects?
The objects. System.
No,
System dot
system.
out.
Correct. So system is not only the object. Out is object. Okay. System is class. Now Java is fantastic. What Java has did, Java says if you have a word and if that word's first letter is capital, then that is a class. What Java says that if you have a word like system and if the first letter of the system is capital, then this word is known as class. Similarly, here you can see string. S is capital. That means this is also my class. This is Java defined classes, system and string. And which is the user defined class? It's my class. So I have 3 classes in my program. I have a inbuilt class as string, inbuilt class as system, and one user defined class is there called my class. Okay. So as someone said correctly, out is object. Okay. And with this particular out, we have also in object. So what I will do here is I'm going to show you what out can do, out in can do, and what ERR can do. Okay, so this out is used to print output. Okay, this in is used to take the values from the user, to take or store the values. Store, or you can say read will be the proper word, or read the values coming from user, or you can say client coming from user. What is ERR? I guess many people have already guessed it. It is to show the errors. So these 3 classes belongs to class called as system. Okay, so these are different classes. These are different objects of a system class which I have shown you just now. System class have following objects. Okay, so that is in, out, and ERR. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, now object is we find it out the object. So object used in this program is out. Then let's find out the class. I already said that string is a class, system is a class, my class is a class. Okay, so how to find out the classes? We have to see that word. If that word's first letter is capital, then that is a class. Very simple. Okay, so I can see here in this program, I have 3 words which are started with a capital letter. That is my class, M is capital, string, S is capital, system, S is capital. So I don't have to remember which is the class and which is the method, because Java make it very clear that if you have first letter of the word capital, then that is a class for you. Okay, so I have 3 classes in my example. Then let's go for abstraction. Can you tell me what is abstraction in this program? Yes, anyone? Okay, we will see it. Abstraction here is welcome to Java Bootcamp. Okay, so why we are writing the program? Because we want to show the results to the user. So when user will see this welcome to Java Bootcamp, so his requirement will be fulfilled. That means we have done the abstraction. So whatever thing he wants or he or she wants to know that we have printed on the output screen. So this is the thing or output which my user wants to see. So I've shown this particular message, and that is called as abstraction process. Okay, encapsulation. In encapsulation, we are hiding the code from the user. Correct? So I'm going to write a very long programs, but I'm not going to show that particular programs to my end user, right? So what will happen is that particular user will able to see, that particular user will able to see the output, but not the code of that output. So I'm going to hide the code of my Java program. So whenever I'm hiding something, that is called as encapsulation. So you will get to know the welcome to Java Bootcamp. Only this message you are going to see on the screen. So that is abstraction. And in other words, all this program is hidden from my user. So that is encapsulation. Correct? Okay. Now let's go for inheritance. Whether we have inheritance here, can anyone wants to give a try? What is inheritance here? Anyone in this program written above? Do we have
inheritance?
Yeah, but which word demonstrate that inheritance? What makes you tell that this is the inheritance? No one? Give a try. So it is wrong. Don't worry. Once you will
There
add
is a parent class, my class.
Correct. So parent class is my class, but there is no derived class. So inheritance is not used here. Correct. So I have my class only. Where is my derived class? Not present in the program. So that is the wrong example. Else, anyone else?
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, all the classes
Yeah.
are inheriting from object class. That's why we can say that there is an object class.
Perfect. May I know the name, please? May I know the name, please? You are very good. This is the right answer that person is given. What's your name?
Ashok Mewada, sir.
Ashok. So very good. So Ashok have finded out the inheritance. Now I tell you what happens is root class in Java is object. Okay, and other classes. Just a minute. Okay, and other class like system, string are inherited from the object class. Okay, so I have two classes. I have two classes of Java called string and system. But what is the root of it? From where it is derived? These are derived from the root class or root object, not object. You can say class. So root class is object. So from object root class, this system and string are inherited. So we are using inherited classes in our program. So that is how the inheritance used in this program. Correct? Very good. I hope everyone have understood it. I said I have a base class, root class that called as my class. Called as object. So from object, derived classes are also created in this program called as string and system. So if you saw inheritance program, inheritance example, see here, I have used single class here. See, here I have used single class. This is single inheritance. Single inheritance. Okay, this is also single inheritance. This is also single inheritance. So for all this, what is the object? What is the root object? A. Or what is the root class? It's A. So from A, B and C is derived. From B, B1, B2 is derived. From C, C1, C2 are derived. That means I'm having these inherited classes. But what is the super class? Which is the super class? So super class for B1, B2, C1, C2 is A. That is called as root object or class. I'm using word called object. That is not correct. You should say root class. Okay, so A is the root class for all this hierarchy. Similarly, in Java also, there is a root class called as object. Root class called as object. So from object class, this system and string are derived. That is why I'm using inheritance here also, right? Now polymorphism, which is the last, last part inside this program. Okay, can anyone want to give a try? What is polymorphism here? Anyone? No? Okay. Polymorphism is println. See how? This is how I displayed the string. Similarly, I can print character like M for male. Similarly, I can print using println method as numbers. Similarly, println method going to print float value like this. Float value like this. Okay, so I can use println method to show different types of outputs. So using println, I'm going to print a string, I'm going to print a character, I'm going to print the integer characters or numbers, I'm going to print float values as well. So this one println is the method which showing here a polymorphism, right? So I will just write it here. Println method is a polymorphic method. Okay, so that's it for the today. Okay, so as I said that tomorrow we are going to have a topic as collections, right? So collection also have different perspective. Collection have also different importance. So tomorrow you are going to learn the collections basic thing. So if your basic fundamentals are clear today,